Guys, imagine that you have this kind of problem here where we got to find the sum of difference, the sum n or the difference of two cubes here, okay? So in the first problem here, we have 80y to the third power minus 10, all right? So already when we see the minus sign in between those two terms, that means we have to use the difference of two cubes formula, okay? And the second problem here, we see the plus sign in the middle, so that means we're going to have to use the sum of the two cubes. Now, the first question to know is if you take 80y to the third power, 80, which is a number here, is it a perfect cube? Is there any number that can multiply itself one time, second time, three times to give you 80? No. What about 10? Is there any number that can multiply itself, a whole number that can multiply itself three times to give you 10? No. So when you get to these kind of issues, the first thing you got to always think about is there anything they have in common that I can take outside? So the greatest common factor. Do I have anything in common? All right? So that's what you're going to look for. So do we have anything in common for these two? Yes, because this is 80, this is 10. You know, two numbers ending up with 0 and 0, so 10 can be a common factor. So this is equal to then 10, which is the greatest common factor, GCF, out of this. So it's 10 and then 10. So 80 divided by 10 is what? Is 8. What's left? 8 to the third. Minus 10 divided by 10 is 1. And that's that. Okay? So this is what we get so far. And then we're going to have to use the formula to it. And then the cube root of 8y to the third is 2y for A. And then for B, the cube root of 1 is 1. So it's going to give you B. So A equals to 2y, and then B is going to be equal to, so A equals to 2y, and then B equals to 1. Because 2y times 2y times 2y will give you what? It's going to give you 8y to the third power. And then here, 1 times 1 times 1 is going to give you 1. All right? Or, for now, we can write it down as this. So this is 2y to the third minus 1 to the third. So we can always write it this way as well, for now. So this is equal to what? 10. And then we got to break it down now using the formula. So it's A minus B, right? So that is 2y minus 1, okay, times A squared. So that means 2y squared plus 2y times 1, so plus A times B. So it's 2y times 1. And then plus 1 squared. And this is what we have so far, okay? And then we bring down the 10 again. This is 2y minus 1. And then what happens here? 2y squared is going to give us what is 2y times 2y is 4y to the second power. So it's 4y to the second power plus 2y times 1 is what? Is 2y plus 1 squared is equals to what? Is 1. Okay? And then is there anything else that we have to do over here? No. We don't need to multiply it again to expand it and combine like terms. No, because we're trying to factor it. It's just to make it simpler. Okay? So this is it. And you are finished. Okay? Let's go to the second one here. So we have x to the fifth power plus 8x to the second power times y to the third power. So we have a problem like this. A lot of times, if you don't even know, you won't even think about the sum of two cubes. But in this case, it is. But the first question is can we find the cube root of x to the fifth power evenly? Is that a perfect cube? No. Okay? And then is 8x squared y cubed also a perfect cube? No. Even though A is a perfect cube of 2, y is a perfect cube, y cube is a perfect cube of y, but x squared is not a perfect cube. So, but because they are working together, we cannot move forward. So we got to think about something again, which is the greatest common factor like we just did here. So let's go for it. Is there anything that they have in common? What do they have in common here? We have x2, we have x5, so that means we can take x2 out. That'll be the greatest common factor, GCF. So that means what? We can divide this by x squared, this by x squared. So we end up with what? X to the fifth divided by x to the second is going to give us what? X to the third, because 5 minus 2 is 3, plus 8. You cross that out, and then you end up with 8y to the third power. Are we good so far? Now, the question is, can we now break this down? Yes, because the cube root of x to the third power is x, and the cube root of 8y to the third power is 2y. All right, so let's go for it. So this is x squared, right? So that is x to the third power plus 2y, okay? Plus 2y to the third power, and then we can now break it down with the formula. So that would be x squared. So that is x plus 2y, okay, because a is x, b is 2y. And then we have x squared, correct? So that would be x to the second power minus x times 2y plus 2y to the second power. And then we have x squared, x plus 2y, times, so x squared, we give it x times x, which is x squared, minus x times 2y, that would give us what? 2xy, and then plus 4y to the second power, because 2y times 2y is going to give us what? 4y to the second power. And ladies and gentlemen, this is your final answer also, because we cannot go further than that, but you have to take your time. You have to take your time. It's so important, all right, to learn. So to learn, take your time, be disciplined, be motivated, be dedicated, be patient, and then you're going to get it done, all right? And also, guys, do not forget to like, share, comment, and also subscribe to our channel so that we can continue to grow as a family. Thank you.